Ever date someone that was manipulative, entitled, had a hard time recognizing their own faults? Seemed like such an awful person sometimes, yet other times were so charming that you forgot all of their bad qualities? Did you ever think to yourself, maybe I'm dating a narcissist? Chances are, if you're truly dating a narcissist, this cycle of being a jerk one day, then being totally sweet another day, isn't going to end soon. And maybe it's better that you get out. This is called the narcissist abuse cycle, and we'll talk about it more after the intro. This is Real Life Psych. Before we get started, if you guys could do me a favor and go ahead and hit the like button so that YouTube knows we exist and that we're here every Sunday morning. This way, they'll push the content to more people and we can get that content out to help more people in the YouTube community. For those of you subscribed, thank you so much for your continued support. Make sure your notifications are on so that you always get an alert every time we release something. Today's topic, are you dating a narcissist? The truth is, with today's technology, the chances of you meeting a narcissist are only increasing, as we now have access to potential partners at the swipe of a thumb. And if you think about it, dating apps might actually be a breeding ground for narcissistic behavior. On one site, this person gets to post their favorite pics of themselves. Multiple people are showing interest in them at once. And being that you don't even really know this person very well, they get to inflate everything about themselves. And it's hard to even fact check. By definition, narcissistic personality disorder is a disorder in which a person has an inflated sense of self-importance. This is already problematic by itself. Now imagine how damaging this can be in a relationship, where empathy, honesty, and trust are highly valued. A relationship with a narcissist can be emotionally and mentally draining. If there's anything I can do to guard you from future heartache, that's what I'm here for. Narcissists typically have a pattern of abuse that they use to flatter you, break you down, and then bring you back in. This is called the narcissistic abuse cycle, and I want you to tell me if your relationship went like this. Let's start from the beginning. The idealization stage. This is where you'll see what's called love bombing. Love bombing is when someone shows overwhelming signs of adoration and attraction. Essentially, they're super romantic, writing you love notes, giving you all the compliments in the world, and being super sweet, which can be almost intoxicating, right? Before this, you were single, looking for someone, and making you vulnerable to this type of attention. The key is, why are they being so complimentary? They use flattery, one, so they can receive it in return, and two, because they idealize a perfect partner for themselves. And the idea that they found a perfect partner helps to build their ego. It was never really about you. 3, now that you're flattered, you're more easily manipulated. Next is the devaluation stage. People say after the honeymoon stage, the real relationship begins. People might even get closer because now your guard is down. You start to depend on each other and build trust. However, in the narcissistic abuse cycle, instead of getting closer, you begin to get devalued as they realize that their partner is not actually perfect. All of a sudden, this person that was flattering you is now very insulting and withdrawn from intimacy. Now that they realize that you have flaws, instead of accepting them, they choose to break you down because they feel that their perfect image is being attacked by your flaws. Next up is the manipulation stage, and I want to specifically talk about gaslighting. Gaslighting is when a person denies the truth by manipulating you and makes you doubt your own reality and question your sanity. Let's say they agree to pick you up from work at a certain time or send something in the mail. When you bring things up, they will blatantly deny things that they may have said or done and question you about your own thought process. You might spend the rest of your day looking through your text messages just to prove to them and yourself that you're not just making this up. The truth is, we all make mistakes or forget to do things. Narcissists would rather destroy your self-esteem than just admit that they were wrong. So they use gaslighting to protect their own ego. The worst part is, their tactics can be so destructive that you spend more time validating yourself in the relationship than focusing on the toxic traits of your partner. The fourth stage is the hoovering stage. This is the last part of the relationship cycle when they start to maybe realize that they're actually losing you. They have an uncanny ability to all of a sudden admit their mistakes and make you believe that they are capable of changing. And all of a sudden, they're the victim that needs you to save them. They might even text you on an important date to show that they care, like randomly texting you to see how a job interview went, or an anniversary that you used to share. All of this is manipulative behavior that ultimately benefits them more than you. They're trying to win you over, not because they care about you, but because you're another trophy in their life that they want to keep around. Their ability to turn this on and off is what keeps us trapped in their cycles because we naturally want to look at people in their best light. It's a lot harder to face reality. Whether or not you've truly dated a narcissist or someone who just has the traits of one, you've experienced your fair share of heartache and trauma. In future videos, we'll talk about tips on leaving these relationships because they're not easy, and healing from this type of abuse likely won't happen as long as the person remains in your life. Take a step back and ask yourself, is there a cycle of manipulative behavior? If so, it might be time to reevaluate the entire thing. Your happiness comes from within, and a healthy relationship involves both parties being happy, not just one. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Not So Scary Sundays. Let me know below in the comments if there's more topics you guys want to hear about. And don't forget to like the videos as well so that we can even reach more people next Sunday morning. See you guys next week.